Do you believe that oil and gas will get some kind of bailout, as much as that word means? And if so, what it might look like if they do?
Look, I think that assistance is likely coming from Washington, and it's necessary. As you know, the oil and gas industry is under siege that they've never had before, we've never seen before. And so I think there's probably three most likely scenarios. I can quickly go through them with you. You know, Secretary Mnuchin has suggested that there may be a new credit facility that the Treasury could ask for in the next, bailout package that Congress would put together. I think it's probably the least likely of the three. The second being a bipartisan. I'm hearing some bipartisan movement on Capitol Hill from my former colleagues there that suggests that there may be almost a one-for-one renewables and traditional oil assistance, and that just kind of classic deal making in Congress. The third, I think, is probably the most likely, which allows people, the government to stay out of the way of picking winners and losers, is the Fed adjusting the date by which under which that they decide what investment grade credit was or debt was from the from March 22nd to March 6th, which is just before the Russia Saudi challenges that presented such a huge issue for the industry.
They want to turn back the clock, if you will. I guess, Chris, it's kind of a version maybe of the old bad joke, which I'm sure you've heard. If you owe the bank $10,000, you've got a problem. If you owe the bank $10 million, they've got a problem. Is this really all about sort of a debt bailout more than an oil bailout, if you will?
Well, I mean, it's largely a systemic challenge. I mean, if we don't have this industry, we're in real trouble from a national security perspective. And so, there's a high likelihood that Washington has to step in this, and I think also the mortgage industry as well, because we cannot withstand the systemic challenges that would fall the United States and our economy if we don't have a vibrant set of companies in these two sectors and many others.
Yeah, I mean, listen, politically, Chris, I mean, you know this, a big D.C. insider. I mean, you're talking about a state which some people fear might be going blue, as hard as it is to believe about Texas. You've got 10 million people directly and indirectly employed in and around the energy industry at all. I would imagine this is a politically sensitive and politically important discussion happening right now as well.
Yeah, look, this issue galvanizes both sides. So you have, the progressives on the left who really embrace, the Green New Deal and elements of that. Obviously, my former colleagues my colleagues in the Republican Party traditionally are known to favor, kind of more traditional sources of oil or kind of energy or all the above approach. But I think at the end of the day, there's always, when I was putting together deals on these kinds of issues on the end of the year tax packages, we were always able to find some way through, at least congressionally speaking, to do almost a one-to-one approach, allowing for both, kind of green and brown energy or renewables and traditional energy to both succeed. And make sure that they both benefit from anything that Congress does. Again, the easiest thing to do, I think, in this is likely the most kind of the lowest hanging fruit is the Fed to do something.